Thank you. We're back for our next departmental budget discussion, and we're joined by Councilmember John Cooper, who's with us today. I'm Mayor David Briley. I'm joined by Talia Lomax O'Neill, the city's finance director, who's to my left, and the city's chief of staff from the mayor's office, Emily Pacini, who is to my right. Before I jump into the future, I just want to talk briefly about last year's budget. Last year, we were presented with a unique budget that had some complications that required us to present a budget to the council that didn't meet all of the goals that we probably had for ourselves as a city. But during the last year, we've been able to tighten our belts and live within our means and cut some expenses, and that, in conjunction with additional revenues, allowed us to be in a position to offer a cost of living adjustment with steps and open range increases to our employees, which I think is a good step towards addressing the real needs of our workers and acknowledging the hard work that they've done in the last year. Also, since our last budget presentation, the Preds made the playoffs just a couple of days ago. So I think 2 days ago now. So congratulations to the Preds, who are a big part of the Sports Authority world. And I guess in just a few weeks we'll have the NFL draft here as well. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure many people would have anticipated that just a few years ago. So with that, I'll turn it over to Monica Fognoston, who is the director of the Sports Authority. Ask you to introduce your board chair who is with you, and then we'll probably have some questions at the end.
Well, thank you. Good morning. I'm Monica Fognoston, Executive Director of the Sports Authority. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Pleased to have Kim Adkins, our chair, here with us. Also, Alicia Montesterin from my office is in the audience. And as usual, we are well supported by our facility managers and our teams, and that's something that we don't take lightly. From the Titans, we have Bob Flynn and Walter Overton. From the Sounds, who are fresh off a win against the Texas Rangers, we have Adam News, and also our 2018 Minor League Baseball Executive of the Year, Doug Scopel. And then last but certainly not least, from the Predators, we have Sean Henry and David Kells and Kyle Clayton. We have submitted a status quo operating budget for FY20. I do want to thank you for your commitment to funding the COLA and the steps and open range increases. And I think as department heads, we understand just the incredibly hard work that our staffs make day in and day out, and often go above and beyond the call of duty. And so I think this was fantastic news for everyone. Well, we've come a long way at the Sports Authority since the days when we were routinely mistaken for the sporting goods store, that Sports Authority. But at the same time, I never want to take for granted or assume that people and the viewing audience especially understands what it is that we do. Our mission is to acquire, improve, repair, operate, and maintain the city's professional sports facilities. Nissan Stadium, Bridgestone Arena, First Tennessee Park, and Ford Ice Center. Our portfolio will grow with the addition of the Ford Ice Center in Bellevue this fall, and also with the Major League Soccer Stadium in 2022, and we're very excited about both of those projects. Our charge is to keep these venues in first-class condition and to protect our large public assets, and it's a responsibility and a charge that the Sports Authority takes very seriously. In 2018 alone, more than 1.6 million people visited Bridgestone Arena, more than 1.25 million people attended events at Nissan Stadium, and around 800,000 people visited First Tennessee Park. So aside from the sporting events and concerts, our facilities are also busy year-round hosting private events, small and medium-sized events, and I think a lot of people don't realize that, but our buildings are full all the time. They're important to the quality of life and the overall enjoyment of our residents and visitors, whether you're a sports fan or not. And they're home to our teams, and we know that they are critical to Nashville's music and tourism industries. We're also focused on public safety at our venues. Safety and security was a focal point of our recent RFQ and solicitation for parking management services at Nissan Stadium. In addition to increased lighting in the parking lots and better signage, we will be working with our parking contractor this year to install multiple emergency call stations on the campus. We think that's very important. Our teams and facility managers also recognize the importance of remaining vigilant when it comes to public safety and emergency preparedness. The Titans host emergency tabletop exercises, and last month several of our venues and facility managers participated in a 4-day emergency preparedness training related to sport and special events that the police department was instrumental in bringing to Nashville. Bridgestone Arena and the Nashville Predators have also received recognition from the Office of Emergency Management and the National Weather Service for completion of the Storm Ready program, and this acknowledges that they are well equipped to handle all severe forms of weather. And finally, it's always fun to talk about special events, and we've got a lot of them coming up. 2019 will be a historic year for us. In addition to the regularly scheduled events, by December 31st, Sports Authority facilities will have hosted the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament, which had a direct economic impact of $21 million in 2017, an exhibition game against the Texas Rangers, which we mentioned earlier, and that was the one that set attendance records at First Tennessee Park with over almost 12,000 fans. The NFL Draft, which we all know will be the largest event that the city has ever hosted. The St. Jude's Rock and Roll Marathon, which will be the same weekend. The Stanley Cup playoffs, the CMA Music Festival, the CONCACAF Gold Cup semifinal, 3 college football games, and the Music City Bowl. We will also have opened the Fordyce Center and continuing to work towards construction of the stadium. So it's going to be a huge year for us, and these kinds of successes, this kind of year, does not happen without visionary leadership, without the tireless effort and commitment of our facility managers and their staffs who work so hard, and investment by the administration and the Metro Council. So we're excited about the future of sports here in Nashville, and also entertainment, because again, this is sports and entertainment, and we sincerely appreciate your support. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
Diane?
That's a lot for how many people?
Well, in our office, 3, but we have a lot of support. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for all your hard work. That's a lot for 3 people to coordinate.
Well,
And even with all of these partners, that requires a lot of effort, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So people might not remember or might not know that the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament entered into an agreement for a long-term home in Nashville. Could you explain that?
We, working with the Predators, Powers Management, and the Sports Council, we were able to support an agreement for the Sports Council and the SEC to make Nashville the home of the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament. That should go through 2035. We are very excited about this agreement. I think the SEC, based off the conversations that I had last weekend, are thrilled to be in Nashville, and we are excited to partner with them. And I think when we look at the long-term economic impact, is going to be substantial. I think upwards of about $350 million.
That was an important development, I think, in the last year in terms of the utilization of Bridgestone and just the economic impact of sports here in Nashville. So I thought that's certainly a great success for the Sports Authority in the last year.
And Mayor, I would have to also echo our collaboration, not only with obviously the mayor's office and the council, but the Nashville Sports Council is a tremendous asset. And the fact that we are all able to collaborate together and have the support of the Nashville Sports Council is tremendous. And I think it's goes to show with many of the successes Monica's able to talk about. And with the SEC tournament, I was able to meet a few folks that participated, and oftentimes we hear that other cities are watching Nashville and are very envious of how we're able to pull things off. So I just want to say it certainly takes a lot of people working together, and it's an honor to be a part of it, and want to make sure they're recognized. So.
Yeah, well, thank you for your service, and thank you, Monica. I don't think we have any other questions. Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.